People deluded. Now, I've tried to stay away from this Aaron Ramsey thing. A couple of days ago, I dropped my vids before these comments about his contract and all this business has come up again. But I feel, you know when you feel compelled to speak about certain people? Now, I have a lot of time for Aaron Ramsey. I don't think he's an Arsenal legend, but he's definitely earned the right to be called a fan favourite, if any. I felt he's given a lot of service to the club. I don't feel he's indispensable or we're going to die if he leaves, but I personally would like him to stay. I like what he brings to the squad. I don't necessarily believe he should start game in, game out, as Unai Emery isn't doing, but if he earns his spot, he does his thing. I just believe he's a decent midfielder and he's been at the club for 10 plus years. Why not keep him? Now, the other stretch of it is what I also believe is if a man doesn't want to be here, doesn't want to be here. If his contract's running up, then in my head, you're gone. If you sign a new deal, cool. But like I told you, with Alexis, Ozil, Ox at a point, and all these other players at a point, if your contract's running out, and until I see something, a pen, you grab I'm left-handed, people. Until you grab a pen and take a picture, signing a new deal, then you're gone in it. So I really just want this over and done with, and it really annoys me. Obviously, he came out, he's made about 2 comments now. He made a comment about the contract, and he's gone again. And this is what he said. I'm paraphrasing a bit after what I've pulled online, but he's like, hopefully someone will come up and tell me why. Ramsey told the Evening Standard, I'll accept that there is a reason when the time is right. I will probably find out, but that hasn't quite happened yet. There's no contract on the table at the moment, so there's nothing for me to consider or whatever. We all know that there was a contract taken away off the table. I'm not sure why, because a few weeks before we sort of agreed and I was ready to sign it. Yeah, man, whatever that means, man. Come on, like that. I mean, if I'm Ramsey, again, I can't be angry at Ramsey because I see all points of it. Ramsey is not an idiot, and this is why I've made this actual vid. Ramsey, you're not an idiot, and neither is your agents. Your agents, and you know damn well, us fans don't, but you probably know damn well why it's been pulled. Something has been said or didn't say, whether it's your side of the party, Wenger's, Arsenal side of the story. Something has changed. Either way, you all know what's what. We hear conflicting reports that we've taken too long to offer you a contract, that you lot were differing, and now the contract's been pulled, which I actually believe because it's documented that the contract was on the table and you took long and it got removed. You can't really cry. I want you to sign, but it feels like it's a positioning of power or so. I do think he's 60% likely to leave. I think 40% both sides want to come to a resolution, and it's a game of chicken. Do I believe I don't think there's one player, not to be harsh against anyone, I don't feel there's any, I wouldn't say they don't deserve their wages because it's not for me and they're footballers, but if we were just to look at it of deserving of high wages, I don't really feel there's a player that really deserves that at this moment in time. I'm not to dig out Mkhitaryan, but we've already made quite a mess that could come back to haunt us with him, and Marinola's done a good job by his client of securing him big wages at Arsenal, his final payday, because it's going to be hard to move him on. Ramsey could find himself in a similar regard. I do believe we should give you an upgrade on your contract, probably 100 and something. But I don't believe you deserve 200. You're not playing like that. You don't. So let's move him on. I do feel all the top 6 Spurs would probably take him in some capacity, whether that's squad or starting. I'm not too sure for starting. Probably not. But in fact, no. But yeah, it's an attractive position, so do what you want to do, man. Like, you clearly know, just stop saying this. Like, I'm tired of the game. This is why I wanted a man. Not that I have anything against him. I want people like this sold in the summer. Like, the whole season, there must be some discourse into regards of your intentions. Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? 1 minute where the club are very confident on tying down Aaron Ramsey, like you saw was tweeted by the BBC and things many months ago. The season started now. Just grow a pair. Everybody needs to grow a pair and decide what you want and sell players. I hate this. Every year, for the last 3 years, there's something with somebody's contract. Will he, won't he? Every victory, how's he going to stay? Every defeat, why would he want to stay? It's quite annoying. Like, and especially that's probably the only, obviously the season's not finished, but that's probably the only bad point you can make of our season so far. Yeah, there's many question marks. Goals might be papering over the cracks. And all these other things on one flip of the coin. But on the other hand, we're in good form. We're chasing 12 wins in 12. This is on the eve of us playing Palace, by the way, people. But 12 wins from 12. The players are talking about how Unai Emery's coaching methods are good and improving them. We're seeing them do different things. We're seeing fight. There's not really much for the media and all these people to really talk about Arsenal, which is why they force it with Ozil and Wenger and all of these things. This is the one bad point, that there's more contract nonsense. Now, Unai Emery keeps it true. Obviously, he probably wants Ramsey to stay, but in the dynamics of having to save money, it is what it is. Obviously, they have discourse and conversation, but he quite rightly said, my focus and his focus is what I want on the team. That's his words. It sounds a bit fresh, but not so I can read. My focus and his focus I want on the team, said Emre in an exclusive interview with Sky Sports. It is true that each player has individual contractual situations to speak with the club, but we need separate things. Two things. For me, and it's with Ramsey, it's very clear. Our conversations, and also yesterday, which was Thursday in brackets, he's played with this commitment, with this behaviour, with the focus to help the team. I'm very happy with how he played versus Sporting, individually and collectively. I want the same from Sunday and these matches. Focus on the team and focus on being together in this situation, and then we'll see. Ramsey in the club can speak, and he can think for his individual contract with the club. And with his thinking, maybe one of the possibilities that he won't continue here. But for me, for us, and for the team, it's about being together and getting better in each training session. So Unai is not an idiot. He's clearly liaising with Sanye. In fact, even if you look at Sanye's comments, he said that all situations, especially with regards to the first teams, all these decisions happen after much deliberation. So they've clearly deliberated twice, 3 times over Aaron Ramsey, and something's changed. It looks like they wanted to keep him. It looks like a shift. I still think they want to keep him, but someone's along the lines has conceded that it might not be financially possible with the current demands or current things. We might have to rethink our thinking. Maybe a lot relies on the Champions League, which is what they both, Unai and him, have said. I think he wants to stay. I think Aaron Ramsey wants to stay. I think Unai wants to keep him, but it comes to the point where, do you sell Ramsey and utilise the wages better somewhere else? I like Sanye as well, man, because I do think they want to make an example on a small basis of Aaron Ramsey, because even if you look at his recent comments, he said no player should be able to run down their contract, and he wants to put a stop to it. He didn't say that bit, but you get it. And one comment that interested me, because I've been saying it, he said in year 3 of a 5-year deal, you should kind of know what you want to do with the player, and that's true. And only when we start doing this is when we'll get top dollar for our players, man. I mean, we've seen, it doesn't matter if it's young players or top players, we've seen players leave for peanuts. I mean, Szczesny's now at Juventus, Alexis Sanchez joined Manchester United, Oxford has joined Liverpool, Ramsey stands to leave on the free transfer, Gnabry went for peanuts. These are 5 players or so. If they were at any other team, they get a decent money for individual ones. Ramsey, regardless of his ability, the dynamics of football nowadays, minimum we should be bringing in 40-50 million for him. As an Arsenal fan, I'm hoping for 20 to 25 in January. Also as an Arsenal fan, bite the bullet, and he's leaving for free, which we spent 5 million on him. That's how the club's looking at it. Until we start doing things better in that regard and stuff like that, then how can we realistically fight against the not being able to spend and really being self-sufficient? It makes you wonder. But in short, I'm tired of the nonsense. I mean, Aaron Ramsey's agent, I don't know his agent, so I'm not going to sit here and speak like that. But if we just go off on the tweets and the Twitters and stuff, it seems like their agency gets a kick off it. And to be honest with you, maybe it's his agent messing up the deal similar to Ox, but it is what it is. And if you leave, man, and it is what it is. In my head, he's left. He'll get my full support until he's gone. But in my head, you're not an Arsenal player anymore, because you're like, on paper, you've left. Come May or June or official date, you've gone. So yeah, man, I've got nothing more to add, so let me get out of your hair, people. Guys, DG, let me get out of your hair, man. Comment, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish.